ever delivering this. Not only is the film a thief of cinema, it infringes on numerous films within the genre. It's a thief of people's time that go to see it.
Nice.
That's eloquent as fuck, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We've got all your butters on top. Baby Girl, A Real Pain, Den of Thieves 2, and of course your drum classic, The Rest. Let's go. To your favorite show about reviewing movies. And before we get it kicked off, of course, we want to say our hearts goes out to everyone that's been affected by the tragic fire that's burning in Southern California. It is the holy land of everything that we review here. And we want to make sure that even on our small platform, we're encouraging everybody that listens to do what you can. Send water, send toilet paper, send thoughts and prayers if that's your thing. Do whatever you can to help out that community, because they need it right now. And hopefully we bring some laughs and we bring some joy to everybody that watches us that's out there and being affected by these wildfires. So, without further ado, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs, we use the stuff that gets you drunk. Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. It's a new week. We are 1 week closer to the Oscars. We had our Golden Globes, and we've got some Golden Globe winners in our Butter on Tops. We've got some nominees as well. So, I've got your Strongbow, he's got your Waterloo, and it's weird, two of those. You also got Ricola. How's that taste combination?
Oh, it's a lemon. It's a lemon, and I'm drinking cherry limeade, so we're having a great time over here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's like the remix to... Oh, we can't use that one anymore, sorry. So... Let's get started with the good. We'll get started with the good, and we'll fade to what was not great in this. And I think I've got an excellent stepping pattern here for how we're going to do this. So we're going to start with A Real Pain, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin, sorry. Like I said prior to filming, it was written, produced, directed by Jesse Eisenberg, and he did a fantastic job. And if you've ever had a bromance, this is the film for you, because it's going to hit all of the notes. Now, this one takes place between two cousins that grew up together, very similar to Jordan and I. You're around each other. You get to know each other's personalities. Whether you like it or not, you miss each other when you're not around. Like, it's that note that even though you're not around each other for 6 months, a year, or whatever, it's just like you go back to talking like old times. You remember right away. You have a good time. And that's how this starts out. And they couldn't be more different, right? Jesse Eisenberg's character is very like anal retentive, very OCD, to the point where at the beginning of the film, he's calling to make sure that his buddy is getting on this airplane, his cousin, to Poland, because they're going on basically a pilgrimage back to Poland to honor their grandmother who had recently passed. And there's some other reasons that I don't want to give away that really get the film going and really make you feel something. And it ends perfectly. And if this had come out in England a week earlier, I'm going to tell you right now, Anora would have been my honorable mention. Deadpool Wolverine would have been kicked out of my top 3. And this would have been number 1, maybe number 2 with the substance.
Dang, dude.
It would have been right up there.
Dang, son.
It's a pop 3. It was such a good movie, and it made you laugh. It made you cry. It made you emotional. It made you think. It was thought-provoking. One of my favorite quotes was, "We ignore the proverbial slaughterhouse so that we can enjoy the steak." And I thought that was pretty profound. And if you really think about it, with most things, we do that, right? You go ahead and read about where avocados come from and what they're doing to do avocado, or to put the cobalt in your rechargeable batteries, silicone in some of your products. I think in the pre-production meeting, Josh said bananas. Like, it's true. Yeah. We ignore all the badness that's going on so we can, enjoy the fruit. Really, right?
We don't want to know like where Batman gets all these sidekicks. We just like Robin.
There you go. Yeah, that's a really weird way to put it, but for sure, I would tend to agree. Oh, wait till I get to The Boys season 5 and I talk about Tech Knight. Anyway,
Ooh.
we also have a great quote here delivered by Kieran Culkin to Jesse Eisenberg, where Jesse Eisenberg's kind of going through something and he goes, dude, like, chill out. And then Jesse Eisenberg goes, well, I don't want to be grieving, right? Like living in this doom scrolling universe. I just think there's a good time and place to grieve. And Kieran Culkin's character goes, Dave, we're on a Holocaust tour. If now isn't the time to grieve, I don't know what is. and it's so factual. So anyway, on this tour, it's so humorous with all of them, and you get to see now Kieran Culkin's character, totally opposite of Jesse's character, is really outgoing and fun, and people like him, but there's an undertone of depression and sadness there, and I think a lot of people that are like that can relate to that. I think everyone should see this. It's a romance tour about relationships. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to be educational. It's going to teach you about friendship, make you think about your own friendship. It's going to make you think about family, and it's going to make you think about meeting new people, going out on the limb, discovering new personalities, and love for unique and interesting strangers that you meet along the way. One of my favorite things that Ann and I have done out here in Europe that this movie reminded me of is going on like little food tours or wine tours where you may run into random people. Well, you will, right? Because everybody signs up for these tours, and you just get to meet some of the most interesting people that you would have never thought to come across. And this movie really paints that picture perfectly. So for me, A Real Pain, starring Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg, is going to be Popcorn in 3. Any questions? I know you guys are going to see this. It was fantastic. See it.
Yeah. Very excited to see this movie.
Yeah, you said it made you laugh, it made you cry. I doubt it'd make me cry because Mark Wahlberg isn't in it. So,
hey, you gonna cry?
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Anyway, Jordan, get to Den of Thieves 2 because I think that one's gonna sit right in the middle, and we'll see if I'm spot on by the time I review Baby Girl. So go ahead.
Yeah, Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Okay.
Pantera.
Yeah, that's the what is that? What would you call it? The subtitle, the sub.
Okay.
Yeah, of the movie, whatever. Look, Den of Thieves 1 was fantastic. It's honestly,
it was fantastic.
Den of Thieves Part 1? Yes, it was great. It was it's one of my I could argue that it's my favorite bank heist movie of all time. Or heist movie period. For me, I know you could say Heat is up there too, and you know,
Bro, Kaiser Soze.
What is that?
Whoa!
What?
My God!
What are you talking
about? Are you joking though? Right? Like you're not.
What are you talking about?
Okay, never mind, Fry. I got it.
Oh my God! So you're gonna find out, I guess, with our drunk classic, because Josh is gonna force you to watch a real heist movie.
I might have seen it, but I just don't know that. I don't know. That sounds familiar.
You don't know. If you don't know the reference, there's no way you could have seen it. And if you saw it and you don't recognize that reference, we have a bigger issue. It's your memory's going very young, son.
Turn the TV off.
All right, so go ahead. It is respectfully, Jordan. It is your favorite heist movie of all time.
Yeah. Shut up. Yeah, I love Den of Thieves 1. I just thought that this movie didn't need a sequel, and Den of Thieves 2 proves it. Okay, this whole movie is a Gerard Butler, his character, kind of on a soul search. His reputation is damaged from what happened in the first one, and if you pay attention to the first one, the whole point of their heist was that nobody in the end was supposed to know that a heist even occurred. They stole dead money that was essentially going to be burned, shredded, whatever. And so it wasn't going to be traceable. It just, nobody knew what happened. And that's kind of what the government's stance on it was. Like, well, we don't know the money's gone, so it didn't happen. We're covering it up. The public doesn't need to know we got robbed. And Gerard Butler's like, you know, he's a dog on this. He's like, we got robbed. I want to get
dog
this guy.
with a bone on this one.
Yeah, I want to get this guy. I've lost everything to this. This has affected my entire life, kind of thing, right? So he's on this soul searching mission. Okay.
Is a dog with a bone because the dog won't let go of the bone? Like he just can't let it go? Is that you
Yeah.
think that's what that's for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So fast forward, okay. He comes across O'Shea Jackson again. He tracks him down, and
Yeah.
they're him and his buddies are on a European international crime spree of stealing stuff. It starts off with one really good heist
Are they with
scene.
Kevin Hart on the plane?
Yeah, you take
Right.
bitcoins.
Take a lift.
Now that's the best heist movie of all time.
Yeah, I've heard. It starts off with one really good heist, very intense sort of stuff going on. But after that, it is very, very far and few in between where there is any action, any heisting, anything.
Oh, it's droning.
Yes, anything really compelling. The dialogue is terrible. It does not have nowhere near the kind of cool, like seedy kind of stuff from the first one. All the dialogue was very like, you see what this tattoo means? That means I'm in a gang, a cop gang. Like, and we will kill you, right? Sort of thing.
That means we're tough guys.
Yeah.
You see this grasshopper right here? Well, what you don't see is this ladybug. This grasshopper right here is about to get this ladybug.
Kiss
Yes.
it. Kiss it.
It's it.
Exactly. There's, towards the end of that whole beginning heist scene, he gets the stripper woman who honey potted him in the first Den of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
He comes across her and he's trying to shake her for information. He one way or another lures her into like a shipping container, and he's like, "Look, if you don't tell me what I need to know, then I'm going to close this shipping container and you're going to end up in China dead." And she's like, "That sounds kinky." And he goes, "It's not." And then they move forward with the scene. And then,
Is that really the response?
Yes.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not very funny at all.
Yeah. And he just kind of rolls his eyes, and then they move on with like the scene. That is really where what the dialogue we're working with is here throughout this movie. Okay, they try to turn it into a bromance, a buddy comedy with O'Shea and Gerard Butler. It's very, very forced. It's half-assed. They try to put a love interest with Gerard Butler and like the honeypot leader of the gang, and that is
The leader of the pack.
Yeah.
Vroom, vroom.
That is very forced. It's very half-assed. O'Shea Jackson, again, with this terrible writing, he's like, "Why do you do this? Isn't it enough? You're rich." And he gives this long personal anecdote about his motivations, growing up poor, walking to school through all the rich houses. And then it just all goes out the window. And he just goes, "I just like to do it for the challenge." Like, well, what was the point of...
Jordan's like, and then none of it matters.
None of
And then
it
he
matters.
scuttles out the door.
Yeah, none of it matters. He's just like, I just like doing it for the challenge.
Daffy Duck.
So, the director, creators, whatever, writers of this movies have a thing for UFC fighters. In the first one, you got Michael Bisping, you got
Tax write-off!
Max Holloway, right?
I love Max Holloway.
This one, you get a very, very short cameo of Michael Bisping, and then you get Cyril Gahn, because most of the movie takes place in France. They are robbing the world's diamond district this time in France. And so you get a UFC former heavyweight champion Cyril Gahn for a few minutes. So that's cool, I guess. No character. There's no character in this that's compelling. In the first one, you had the lead guy, Merriman. Great character. Super compelling. You had 50 Cent and his relationship. Pretty compelling. Okay. This one, there is no intra-character relationship. They try, but it is not there. It's bad. Okay.
Jordan is taking we'll call it a water gun to every character in this film. No.
No. Yeah. The heist itself is great. It's good. It's just, yeah, like I said, very little action. O'Shea Jackson, I'm gonna say this, I'm sorry, he has a weird physique. Okay, he is not a movie star or an action star kind of guy. Okay, I'm not gonna go into what makes his physique weird because that's just being
He's a
mean.
tater.
But
I'm a tater.
yeah, they get.
Josh gave you clearance with his own body. He shamed himself so that you could say
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be in the big action scenes either. I mean, I can roll. I'm gonna do a roll.
Josh was like, "I'll be your token here."
Look, he swims with his shirt on, literally in the movie. We'll say that, literally. Okay,
Is the shirt black or white?
he's wearing like a tunic, like a European African.
What color?
French
Is it dark
guy.
color or light color?
Oh,
like
so it's
black.
like very intentional.
It's
Like
black.
you bought a designer swim shirt.
Yeah.
He had them titties, baby.
Yeah. Okay. He's also wearing a massive Cuban link chain in the pool. So, yeah, there are multiple scenes where you're just like, O'Shea Jackson couldn't do that. Okay. They're pushed off a yacht in the middle of the ocean to where it looks like 10 miles. Like they are far. And they have to swim to shore, and somehow he makes it. I don't believe that. He comments on it like in a buddy comedy way. I am reverse buoyant. I cannot swim that far. Blah, blah, blah. That sort of thing.
I am
Right?
reverse buoyant.
Yeah. It was funny.
That's
But
opposite. That's not good.
yeah, I
You
know.
should have
That's what
back
he's saying.
sooner.
He said it so it would be funny. It's not funny.
But,
Yeah.
But like
It's funny that they wrote it to be funny is what makes
But-
it funny.
taters aren't reverse buoyant. Taters are very buoyant.
Yeah.
I'm buoyant, dog. I gotta fight to get to the bottom of the pool.
He's climbing across buildings, cat burglar style. He's climbing up elevator shafts. Okay, doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. If you see his arms at the end of the movie, those aren't the arms that you can do those sorts of things with.
Oh, what is you doing?
Yeah. So
This is just systematic takedown of O'Shea Jackson.
I really do like O'Shea Jackson. Though.
I hate his writing. I hate his acting. He can't do anything.
I like the idea.
cute, though.
I like the idea of an O'Shea Jackson more than I actually like O'Shea Jackson. Look, this is a cheap franchise. It's very much turned into just a cheap franchise that they're trying to make. They're set up for more to come. Nobody wants it. Okay,
Poor man's Fast and the Furious.
yes. It is a B-list Fast and the Furious. It's quickly turning into they're gonna rob a submarine or something next.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a popcorn.
Submarine. There's a submarine
Alright.
transferring $40,000 in unmarked bills.
Yeah.
So
Jason Statham's next. We're gonna get
popcorn.
Conor McGregor. It's
All right.
yeah,
I'll do the job.
popcorn.
all right, so let's go to what I think was even worse than that. But this is up. It's getting critical acclaim. It's a movie called Baby Girl, starring Nicole Kidman, and she's not my first crush, but she was definitely the first female in a film where I was like, I'm probably gonna see a boob if Nicole Kidman is in it. Like we all had those movies as kids, like little boys, where you're like, hey, if I watch a movie with this person in it, I might see a boob. She was that person. Like any Nicole film. I had a feeling. Did you have any of those, Josh?
Man, forever.
You said that like
Batman forever.
I'll just go right over what you look like you said that as.
Forever.
Exactly. This film opens exactly like it should, and here's the thing: it opens with her riding Antonio Banderas, and there's no credits up yet. It's just moaning, boom, and then it goes right into her pulling up porn on her laptop in an alternate room with the door locked right after they finish. So it tells you exactly where it's going to go. And then it lets you know very early, nothing about this film is good, nor is it original. Okay, I have no idea why these individuals are getting nominated for an award. One of the people in my theater before, like 15 minutes before the movie was even about to end, got up and left. Just got up and left them, and it was a young woman too. So this genre is geared towards that audience, and she literally just got up and walked out with like 15 minutes left in the movie. Harris Dickinson was so bad at acting, and he's gonna be ultra famous because that's just the way the world works. Like, I'm gonna be wrong here, and this is gonna be the next Chalamet or some shit. All right,
really?
But it was so
fantastic in Iron Claw.
Okay, well, he's terrible here, and he has he's a little brother in Iron Claw.
Yeah, he's
okay.
one that dies, I think.
Okay, well, here he's bad.
They all die.
Have you guys ever seen The World According to Garp with Robin Williams?
No.
Where he plays the wrestling coach, and it's got John Lithgow in it, and he's playing a transgender. Okay, we'll write that down on your list. You guys should all see The World According to Garp, old Robin Williams film. But anyway, there's a scene in it, and I'm going to get to my review here in a second, but there's a scene in it where by now you know that she's cheating on Robin Williams with one of her students, all right, in the movie. So I'm kind of spoiling it, but it's been out for 40 years or something. So that's on you guys for not seeing The World According to Garp. But the student is like, please, I need this so bad. I don't know why. And she's trying to break it off. And in this, Harris Dickinson's character, Samuel, does the same thing. And literally, the acting was so bad. The emotion was so bad. The writing was so bad. I burst into laughter into the theater. I just started to laugh. And I was trying to hold it back. You know when you're trying to like stifle a laugh?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be... And I'm trying to... And then it just went on. And I just lost it. I just started hysterically laughing because it was so utterly ridiculous what was going on. If you pay attention to dialogue, which you guys now have been doing this long enough with me to know, that's gonna be my sticking point. Like if it's bad dialogue, I'm probably not gonna like it. And there's a lot of bad dialogue in this, and it's trumped by worse acting. Okay, so I don't know why they're nominated for Golden Globes. I don't know why. I think Nicole Kidman's gonna get nominated for an Oscar. It was terrible. The performance was awful, and it was wanting, and it was begging for like this movie. We need you to like it. And it stole so much. It's 50 Shades of Grey opposite, where she's supposed to have the power because she's the big CEO VP and he is the intern. Obviously, she's a reporter in 50 Shades of Grey, but they don't even change the gender dynamic. They make him the powerful one in the relationship. And for me, that was so pathetic to make a movie like this and still make him have all the power in the relationship.
Can I ask you about bear with me here.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's getting a little older. One day he says, I think I'll do an action movie. What's her face? Who we're talking about? What's her face?
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman, getting a little older. I think I want to do sex movie.
She's done a bunch of sex movies.
That was such an insulting impression. I'm sorry.
I'm not throwing shade at Nicole Kidman's aesthetic. She's gorgeous in this movie. Drop dead gorgeous. But the acting's bad. The dialogue's bad. It's not believable. The story is... It's a ripoff of, I've got it here, Unfaithful. Have you ever seen Unfaithful with Diane Lane and Richard Gere?
Heard of it.
So they steal from that movie. They steal from 50 Shades of Grey. Fatal Attraction, but reverse. It has shades of Fatal Attraction. Worse acted than Fatal Attraction. And it's... Oh, God. The movie is a replica of so many, and then, like I said before, it's not even acted well. There's so much blackmail involved, but there's blackmail in all of these films. Can we do something else? Can we be more creative than, well, they're blackmailing me, so I gotta fuck them. Can we do something else? Is there any other way to run this? Anyway, let me give you my full review. The vulnerability displayed in this film can only be described as false. Both the antagonist, well, never mind. They're both antagonists in this film. Neither has any redeeming quality. Neither is going to achieve seeking what the director wants. The director would like you to believe them to be the pursuit of a childlike longing for something that is missing within their life or within your life if you're watching this through an introspective lens. The the problem is neither performance is believable and no lessons are learned. It gives the impression that the lesson will be learned while never delivering this. Not only is the film a thief of cinema, it infringes on numerous films within the genre. It's a thief of people's time that go to see it.
Nice.
That's eloquent as fuck, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. It was a bad movie. And it's gonna be my next challengers, guys. It's gonna be one that I know people are gonna try to convince me is good. And I'm gonna be sitting there like, tell me what's good.
No.
Explain to me what is good about this movie. Because it is not good.
Look,
you have a new crusade now.
Before this review, you couldn't pay me to watch this movie.
Right.
I'm not lying to you. Yeah.
It is. It's. We can't talk about everything that goes on in this. What I will tell you is Dickinson does have a scene where he and Nicole are in a hotel room, and it's just him dancing like this with his tattoos and a glass of whiskey for like 6 minutes.
I'll have to get much of that taste.
And I'm just like, I was like, what is this? What trash is this? And I think he's supposed to be being seductive. It never gets there. Again, less than a popcorn for Baby Girl in theaters now. So let's get to the classic. As always, I'm not going to lead us off because I love to hear your guys' thoughts on whatever movie I chose, so it help me get into a way where I'm about to punch you guys out to defend my classic. Okay? We'll punch your lights out.
Punch your lights out.
The classic this week was The Wrestler, starring Mickey Rourke and his love interest, right?
Marissa Tomei.
There's an extra syllable in there. Rourke?
Rourke. If you want
Mickey Rourke?
If you're nasty.
Rourke.
Mickey Rourke?
Rourke.
And if you didn't hear Josh, yes, the lovely Marissa Tomei is in this as well. So, Jordan, let's start with you.
Yeah. All right. This is a good movie. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited that I got to start. This is a movie. The central theme is about being washed up. Okay. And right on the nose is a waterlogged, baloney-faced Mickey Rourke. Okay.
The abs, though. Your boy still got them abs, though.
Yeah.
Baloney face, dog. Look at you.
And, Marissa Tomei, whatever, washed up, but she is an angel, okay? She is a American treasure, okay? I love Marissa Tomei. Okay.
I love Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
We all love Marissa Tomei.
Wrestling movies are just undefeated, okay? Because when acting is done by actors, by real actors, it translates to a good movie. Okay? Because that's what wrestling is. And now look, there's no question. The physicality, the athleticism, the dangers of wrestling are real. Okay? It's very, very real. No, I'm not taking away from that at all. But everything else around it is not good. So when you sprinkle the Hollywood magic and the Hollywood writing and the professional actors, it equals good things. Okay? The portrayal of the gritty local wrestling circuit is also a recipe for success. Okay,
I love the way they filmed it too. How they filmed
authentic.
it very low key, very authentic. Almost you get this vibe of like a home video being filmed while they're all talking to each other.
Well, like the Iron Claw, I think the Iron Claw took a lot of notes of how to film this sort of lifestyle, and it works. It's just a winning formula. Okay, these guys, the
film work. Oof.
Yeah,
go on.
These guys aren't paid particularly well to do what they do, and it's the look behind that. Like, what are they doing this for, sort of thing. I give this movie a popcorn in 2. It could be a popcorn in 3. I don't know what exactly it was lacking. Maybe it needed to be a little bit longer. It dwelled on a few things in his life that could have not been as fleshed out as some other things that needed it, maybe a little bit more. But my favorite thing that I was just cracking up at the end of the movie, the big dramatic moment where he hits the Randy the Ram thing off the top rope. And imagine Imagine, they're like, don't do it. Imagine he just misses the guy and just hits the canvas and dies on the spot on impact. And they're just like, they should have ended it there. They should have showed that and ended it there. He's just dead.
No, if he falls dead and it instantly cuts, like no response, like just enough to let you know, oh, he's done.
He gives out a he gives out a on impact and just dies. Oh man, that would have made this movie a popcorn in 3, but it didn't, so it's a popcorn in 2.
He survived, so it's a pop 2.
Yeah,
With Bob the Ayatollah the whole time. Are you good, bro? Are you good,
survive.
Randy?
Did
Well, we don't know that. We don't know.
We fucking know.
I don't think we know. But I think he was fulfilled by looking up to the rafters, the backstage area, and seeing that Marissa Tomei had left him like he left his daughter, and he felt so many had left him, right? He was only at home in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what did you think?
Well, I'll start real quick with saying the movie doesn't make sense if you think he lived. It doesn't make any sense. The
Why
purpose
does
of the
it not
movie.
make sense?
That's where I'll start, and then I'll continue with.
They could have done the thing where it's like what they do in comedy movies, where he hits the ground, everyone's freaked out, and then someone gets close to him. He's like, oh, "I'm okay," and then they cut there.
He throws up a little bit.
Or it would have been very real wrestling if, like, he's sitting there half dead or 3/4 dead, and the referee rolls him over so his arm's just on him.
Yeah.
Then that would have been so wrestling.
The Ayatollah just drops a flying elbow on him while he's down. Now he's dead.
Or that jumps his heart back in.
Oh boy. Okay, so this film to me is on my short list of perfect films. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The story, maybe it's not super, super deep, but the execution picks up for every other thing that is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
The film work was incredible. We talked about that. But what about the parts where he's like going from the back to the front of the deli counter and it starts playing the crowd? And like it follows him like he's about to like hit the stage or the ring. And then it dies out. And I mean, the camera work throughout is incredible. The soundtrack is an Oscar-winning soundtrack made by Slash. And Mickey Rourke, the only thing he did better is Marv. It's the only thing he did better.
From Sin City?
Yeah, this is a perfect casting. Baloney Boy himself took a perfect role. Marissa Tomei, great. The story has so much in it. Like, if you really study it, it's like, I'm thinking about when he shoves his thumb in the slicer and quits, right? He gets in his car and he's like, he's upset at the very end. It's Robin. It's Randy. He's saying, my real name is Randy. I'm not Robin. So his stage name is his real name. And then when Marissa Tomei quits, it's opposite. I'm Pam. I'm not whatever her name was. Cinnamon. I don't know.
Cinnamon. I was gonna say
Chastity. Chastity.
I'd go with Cinnamon.
I was going to say Cinnamon too.
But that opposite part of it, how it's Shakespearean.
Shakespearean.
I mean, there's the parallels in the plot and how this is that, and then so this flips. The authenticity of the scene, showing the brutality of the matches, especially staple match, but all of them. And they have to get the camera right in there, but it's too much to see him die. I was explaining that to my mom, and when I said it as the movie was ending, I was tearing up. I was like choking back tears watching this movie. So brutal was his life, but it was just too much to see him die. Even though he wasn't a good guy, it's like not even a Walter White.
He wasn't a bad guy either, and I think that's a storyline.
He's just a guy, and You make mistakes in your life. You make a bunch of mistakes in your life. I saw a lot of parallels with myself with this, so it hit home. Not to mention my hair's a little bit longer than his. Thanks for not the baloney face though. That's good. But yeah, this movie really touches my heart. It's a beautiful take on the average wrestler, the Hulk Hogan type who didn't make it to Hulk Hogan status.
Yeah, yeah.
You give your
What
life
do you
to
think
something.
hurts more? Like making it and then being completely gone, or getting so close to making it and never getting that peak?
I don't know. It's tough. But the whole thing also, like, my brother had to watch this for college for a course, and he had to watch the movie and read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and make comparisons and stuff. So there's a lot of themes of I don't belong in this world. No matter how hard I try, it's not going to work. And I am this way. I can't deny that I am this way. I think it's just an absolutely gorgeous film. It's perfect to me. It's a beautiful film. I mean, when he gets in his van that first night and just sits there and stares at his wall, with drinking the beer, like you think, of course, like it's glory years stuff, right?
Taking the Percocet.
Yeah, he's looking at when times are better. He's having his beer in his in his van and stuff. But there's more to that 1,000-yard stare he has. It's so. It's such good acting all the way through. I love this movie. Popcorn at 3. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a pop 3 for me as well. Mickey Rourke, you guys know his story before acting, right? Why his face is like that?
Boxing car accident?
It was boxing. Yeah, he got his face beat up in a boxing match that led to him retiring, having to stop boxing, and he moved into acting. But yeah, it was boxing. He was a boxer. So probably I think he pulls a lot of that failed boxing career and puts it into this Randy the Ram character. A couple things before I get into some of the emotion of the film. Use my leg! And then the crowd chants, use his leg!
Yeah.
Use his leg! That was fantastic. Like, I think that...
That's
The whole culture. They nailed the whole culture.
Yeah, that is peak male, bunch of men in a crowd, a mob mentality kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Like where you at first you don't agree with it, but enough people want to see it that it makes you want to see it too.
Yeah.
And then the grocery store manager just openly watching porn.
Yeah.
Well, when he walks
Todd
into
Glass.
the office.
He's a
Not
great
even
comedian.
a good scene either. Just some cunnilingus going on, you know? Just the real down bad stuff.
Yeah.
Is what he was watching. The manager is a perfect example of somebody that didn't get hit enough growing up. Right? Like, you're not afraid enough of this person that is clearly bigger than you. Clearly he can get this job anywhere else. And he's sparing your life through the goodness of his heart. And you're taking advantage of that. Okay? And, like, so many times in this, I'm like, yeah, this is the problem. Like, it's the same thing with what happened with Jason Kelsey a while back when he had to apologize for smashing the guy's phone on the ground. Like, the guy that said what he said about his brother just didn't get beat up enough. And I'm not advocating for violence, but there's a segment of our population that didn't get hit enough. They take too many chances. And I think with those people, maybe a slap card should be allowed. Like, you touch a stove, I'll burn. I burn from a hot stove. Maybe that stove should be running a little hot sometimes. All right? Scene with his daughter on the pier. I just don't want you to hate me. He's vicious. Only matched by I don't hate you. I don't feel anything for you. You're nothing to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
I did notice this time around, though, when he gave that speech to her, which was very heartfelt and it seemed sincere, he didn't ever say he was sorry.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, too.
There was a lot. At the same time, girl, he still showed up. He was 2 hours late, but he showed up. Like, some of us got bios that didn't even show up. So maybe take that into account. Like, I'm not going to say I know your story, but he still showed up. And what took him away from showing up that night, reliving the glory days in the bar with, I think that's Kofi, right? I think that's like the actual wrestler Kofi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was him.
But he goes to the bar and gets to relive those glory days and wakes up in a child's bed with a ferret in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty wild. He's married to the sport. He's married to the crowd. He's married to the rush you get when you hear them all screaming out loud. Now, as an aging wrestler, the only relationship he has is someone that he sees himself in, an aging stripper. Two people in a world they no longer belong in.
Mm-hmm.
Randy the Ram is an amazing character and really gives you insight into the life of what not just former wrestlers, former athletes, former champions of any kind, any sport you bring into it, what they can go through when all of it's gone. I think if you've ever heard the song Holy Grail by Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z,
Yeah.
they really highlight that. Like, listen to it, right?
Oh, no.
As soon as the money's gone, all the pigeons take flight. Like, they if you actually...
It's amazing.
I don't think we can talk too much about it, but listen, actually just pull up the lyrics and read the lyrics about it.
You can't even read the lyrics anymore, dude. Jay-Z will sue your ass.
It's very true to what this is, right? It's what do you do when it's all gone? Like everyone's going to leave you, and I think we need to show young athletes, no matter what industry they're in, like especially like you look at Olympic athletes. Yeah. Once you can't compete in the Olympics anymore, like that's it. Like it's over. You will never hear the roar of that crowd again.
For sure. And of course,
it's kind of like
there's that also, but like I'm sorry to cut you off, but like it's also showing he's given chances for a regular life, and he just can't. Like he has all these opportunities, he misses the chance.
Do you think he earned that? But it's the chance is the margins are so paper thin on the chances he's given. Like Marissa Tomei's character, to give him a chance, because even at his house before he drives off to fight the Ayatollah in the big event at the end, she's telling him she can't be with him in his driveway again, just in a nicer way.
Totally, I totally get it. But like I'm just saying, like there's times when it really could work out, and it's like, yo, he could really have a thing going at the job for a while, maybe get a better job, but he just that's not going to work for him. It's just not. That's nice.
But also, like the lady with the potato salad, I would have lost my mind. I would have absolutely lost my mind. A little more, a little less, a little more, a little less. Oh my God.
I do that. That happens to me sometimes at the job.
Yeah. All right, where Josh has to bite his tongue. All right, so Josh, I don't want you to not interrupt here because you're the one that has to talk, all right? So Wrestler was a pop 3 for me, pop 3 for you, pop 2 for Jordan because it doesn't show him dying. Now, now, outside of that, you watched a film, Josh, that Jordan says is his favorite heist movie of all time, and you don't agree with his assessment.
Yeah, no, I don't, all right? I don't. So let's just start with, like, you take your review that you just gave for part 2, Jordan, is the review for part 1. Like, these characters are unlikable.
It's a Spider-Man meme.
I don't care about any of them. Who's like, oh, big tough guy, huh? Like this whole time, he was like, what is Gerard Butler even doing? Which is strange because he comes off as intimidating usually whenever he wants. But in this, the whole time, I'm like, who's this for? You know, you're not convincing anyone, bud. Like. It was like the whole thing was just so like laughable. It was acting on the lowest level. It was so bad. The heist seems like it kind of makes sense, but not really. And then I'm like, and you're working with it. Like they wanted to make it deep. So okay, like you know, Heat. Remember Heat with De Niro's? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had that really cool gunfight scene. Val Kilmer. The producers of this are like, yeah, let's just make that gunfight scene a whole movie. So it had really actually had really great action. The gunfight scenes were really cool and seemingly like well thought out. Like the actual choreography seemed legit. Like people are playing Call of Duty out there. And then you remember Ocean's 11, right? With like all these characters that have their own personality and they're cool. Nah, never mind. Let's just not do that. No one, the whole 50 Cent thing with the, like, that was a cute little blurb, but like, does it matter to me whether or not I see 50 Cent's character's family? What about Cheddar Bob's family? We don't talk about him much, do we? These are just like meatheads. This is beef boys who forgot to get a nerd to write for them. It is butt, dude. This movie was like, at the end of it, I was just like, okay. I mean, it was literally like the dude at the party who's like, oh, watch this. And then he like lands on top of a beer pong table and breaks it. That's what this was. Popcorn.
Popcorn. Well, I watched What If. It's 8 episodes on Disney Plus. What I will say is the animation's great. They do a fantastic job with the animation. The storyline is getting a little long in the tooth. We are approaching territory where it's, hey guys, maybe wrap it up. The Battle of the Watchers is fantastic in this. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get to that episode. I thought the Western episode was really good with female Hawkeye and Shang-Chi. Like cool. that was a really cool episode. But the best I can say about it is the animations is fantastic. It gets annoying at times. It gets to be a bit much at times. It gets preachy at times. And if you're not into that, or perhaps you're just over it and somebody needs to give some of these films the memo, like, hey, we're exhausted. And I mean, there's been some pretty big clues that happen around the time of November that people are kind of exhausted of preachy things. And maybe we need to pull away from the preaching and start teaching. Okay? So we'll go ahead and give this one a popcorn and 1 because the animation's very good. All right? Well, the animation's very good. Jordan.
Yeah. I had a couple, I went on a little kill streak here because look, there's killing classics that are, you'll watch Rush Hour, it's like, it's a funny movie, but like, look, these are really, really all-time great movies. Don't worry, I'm going to get you the titles, but it's just, I've wanted to watch these movies for a long time and I didn't want to be forced to watch them as a drunk classic. Like, I want to really watch these movies.
You want to get yourself in the Bubba bath.
Oh, so you don't really watch the drunk classics. Okay.
No, I just want to be in the headspace of, like, I want to watch this movie. Okay?
Yeah.
So the first one I watched was Cinderella Man. Okay?
Classic killer.
Starring Russell Crowe and Renee Zellweger and Paul Giamatti. Okay? The great Paul Giamatti. It's a Great Depression period piece about a man who's a boxer pre-depression, he gets a little washed up, has some injuries, can't box, and can't find work, just like everybody else, okay? Their family's going through it, and then he has this miraculous, one way or another, has this comeback. Paul Giamatti is excellent, as always.
The bear comes a call in. The bear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The bear.
Paul Giamatti is excellent in this movie, as always.
Best supporting actor nod.
He should have won it. I don't know who he lost it to, but he should have won it. I defy you to find me a role where Paul Giamatti is not good, where he didn't have a good performance. Okay, Renee Zellweger has great moments, but she has a few really, really bad moments. Her crying face is laughable. It's just hard to take it serious when she is making her crying face. The ending there, it just ruins the whole dramatic speech that she's giving him. I'm behind you.
You're starting to go misty-eyed and excited that you see,
whoa.
Put that somewhere. Come on.
The boxing is, look, like for its time, I'm not talking about, like, the boxing is very untechnical back then.
Yeah.
We're not seeing Floyd Mayweather. We're not seeing Mike Tyson, right? These are guys.
You're seeing haymakers.
Yeah, these are drunk guys just slugging it out pretty much.
Yeah,
like
barely any, like, dodging at all.
No. Yeah. These are not peak physical specimens. Okay. Back in these times, these Great Depression, 30s, 40s, 20s.
So he lost to Morgan Freeman for $1 Million Baby.
Okay. Bro, hey,
that's a tough draw, bro.
I've never seen $1 Million Baby either. But anyways, I know the ending though. Anyway, comes out.
I've never seen Den of Thieves.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
never saw
Well,
it.
you gotta watch it. There's Beat Boys.
Yeah,
oh
now I'm
man,
in the middle. Now I'm in the middle of you two warring it out. I was gonna watch it this week, just to be honest.
it's a bro down. It's a straight bro down. Um, he comes out for his final fight, and it is silent. Which bad on his team. Bad on his team. Okay, his boxing team. Okay, not getting that room hyped up for him to go in there and fight. Okay, he's truly, and that's the buildup, is that he's truly walking into death. He's walking into his own funeral. Which, by the way, the guy that is like everyone's afraid of doesn't look that scary. He's not that
He looks like a
intimidating of a guy.
twerp.
Yeah, he looks like maybe like a little bit like a John Krasinski kind of guy, with just like a little bit of a crazy twitch in his eye, a little bit.
Mm.
Other than the top three build people there I mentioned, it's a very subtle casting. Then you get like Patty Considine, the guy that plays the other boxing commissioner. He's a recognizable face. I don't know his name, but yeah, it's like a very humble sort of casting, and everybody
Right.
does pretty good. The climb, yeah, there's no silent, coming out to ambitions as a rider, no Apollo Creed type stuff. No, there's just nothing. This
It's
is
understated.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The climactic fight,
Palatable.
though, the climactic end fight, Russell Crowe and the bear guy. Okay, that is excellent boxing choreography. I've got to say, the way that final scene is fantastic. I don't
Forgot
know.
how it went.
I don't know if I've ever seen a boxing movie. Rocky, good movies, entertaining movies. Creed, good movie, entertaining movie. Terrible, terrible boxing choreography. Okay, this looked like a real boxing match for its time. And it adds the Hollywood drama to it. The taunting and the illegal blows that wouldn't fly in a real boxing match, sort of thing. They kick it up. They punch it up. No pun intended. Yeah, this is a popcorn and 3 movie. It's a great movie. Doesn't feel as long as it
Cinderella
is.
Man.
Does not feel as long as it is.
Very cool.
Good.
And the next one, your next classic killer.
Okay, significantly shorter review here. Hotel Rwanda. Okay, about the genocide in Rwanda, starring Don Cheadle, Nick Nolte, and a very brief appearance with Joaquin Phoenix, who's just kind of this like burnout guy. He maybe has like 20-ish lines, none of which are really consequential to the movie. So I don't know at what point in Joaquin Phoenix's career we were kind of at, like what other roles he was getting. This came out in 2004. It very much looks like it was filmed the year that the genocide happened, which was in 94-ish, 94, 95. It looks like a 90s movie, but it came out in 2004.
We have a tie. We have a film tie in oh goodness gracious, why did my brain just slip up? In A Real Pain, they have a Rwanda genocide survivor.
Oh,
Interesting.
Film tie.
Good.
how
This
fun.
is this is a traumatic movie, okay? And it should be, because you need to see, not enough people. This isn't a learned about enough thing for Americans specifically. I've heard about it, but I didn't really know any real details about it until college.
Yeah.
Until I got to college. Okay. And I think that's not good. Okay. It's really fascinating, like as bad, the Holocaust is terrible, but it's fascinating. People are fascinated with the Holocaust and Hitler and all these things that went on, right? It's horrific. But we should know about these things, right? So history doesn't repeat itself, so that these things don't happen again. And I feel like the public does not know, the masses do not know enough about this incident. Nick Nolte has the most nonsensical racist monologue in this movie. And it's not exactly him being racist, it's him making a point, but it's just like, what?
Which movie we talk about? Because there's like a lot of Nick Nolte movies.
No. In Hotel Rwanda, he does the "You're worse than black."
Yeah.
African.
Yeah.
And you're talking about that one, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is powerful. I still remember that, and I watched this movie when it first came out. But I knew the second you started talking about Nick Nolte, I was like, I know exactly what scene he's talking about.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And also, Josh is correct.
This is the general dialogue writing is not great. It's just not. It's God. I want to give this a popcorn and 3 movie. I'm going to. It's fine. I could get over the dialogue because it's a gripping movie. You think so?
Don Cheadle is great.
Don Cheadle is great.
How rewatchable is it?
I have never seen it. I've never watched it again.
It's a popcorn and 2. Nick Nolte is terrible. Joaquin Phoenix is hardly in it. Everybody else is good. Don Cheadle and all that is good. That's fair. I'm gonna give it a popcorn and 2. I'm gonna remove my heart out of what this is about.
All right.
Yeah.
Your heart out of it.
But yeah, on Amazon Prime, Hotel Rwanda. It was on my list, and they took it away, and then it went back, and I was like, I have to watch it before it goes away. As well as Cinderella Man, Netflix. It was leaving soon, and that's why I was like, I have to watch this now as well. So
I can watch it for free.
Yeah.
All right. So, really quickly, I'm gonna go rapid fire. The Boys season 5 has already been reviewed here. I think that Jordan gave it a pop too. For me, I'm so happy this next season is going to be the last season because they're approaching Walking Dead territory. They're approaching Game of Thrones territory. They're approaching American Horror Story, where we're just saying, wrap it up. It's done. End the story. You've done a good job. You're going to kill it. Okay? That is my thought on this. It's still funny. It's still got its moments. It's got all your blood gore that you're looking for. They've even tied in some Generation V into this season 5, which I'm very excited about. And I only have one question as we go into season 6. Does anything ever go right for these guys? Because even when the heroes win, one of the heroes has to have a heel turn, and now they lose again. Boys season 5, popcorn and 1 for me. Let's get there. Let's get to the finish line. Let's get this thing tied up, and then let's get on to Invincible. Yeah. All right, next one. I watched Boy Kills World. I had to do it because Josh made it one of his top 3 movies of last year. So now I'm obligated to watch what is a Wet Hot American Summers with blood, guts, and gore. It was very funny. It has really comedic moments. I think that this is where Skarsgård is working through his accent still because he does not talk at all, and I think they did a very good job of that. Right, and you'll get the reference when you watch this movie of Wet Hot American Summer with all the blood, guts, and killing. All right, it's got the little boy from The Boys in it. That was interesting. I thought that was funny. It's got one of my favorite show's characters. It's got the main character from Warrior in it, who plays his posse or his team, right? When they team up. He's the guy that throws him the shotgun. He also delivers one of my favorite lines in the whole movie, where he goes, hey, you go ahead and use this on them. I'm going to stay back here and do cart stuff. I thought that line was so funny. Like it literally made me laugh out loud. And then he goes, hey, you got to get those guys too. I'm pretty set on this cart stuff. Like a couple minutes later. I thought that was fantastic. As the main character is just dispatching everybody. There's also a cheese grater scene that's fantastic. Like the cheese grater fight scene, it's everyone's biggest fear when dealing with a cheese grater or an enemy that has a cheese grater.
Yeah. It went on for a little long.
It's a lot. His skin crawling.
Didn't that happen as well in Monkey Man?
Yeah. Monkey Man has a cheese grater as well in the kitchen. So we got 2 cheese graters of 2024. Pick your favorite. Next up, we had the reading lips. And how it's difficult for him to read lips of people with mustaches or beards. Yeah. And it made me laugh because we have a person I work with, and I love her, but she has to read lips, and a lot of times she's like, I can't tell what you're saying because your mustache.
I thought you were going to say that she has a mustache and a beard.
No, I did not see The Greatest Showman this week. I missed that one. There you go. That's some people's classic that I've never seen. I've never seen The Greatest Showman.
It's not a classic at all.
I have no need to see that. But Boy Kills World, popcorn and a high one. I enjoyed it. Not one of my favorite films of the year, but I got it. When I watched it, I was like, okay, I get why Josh absolutely loves this. Next up, I saw Creature Commandos on Max. The season has ended. It is some of James Gunn's best work. It is my favorite animated series of this year. It was phenomenal. The characters are fantastic. It's tied into all the live action movies, and the humor is so real in this. It's so funny. And the drama is real. It's very adult. Anyone can watch this. The only thing that will throw you off is the princess's accent is hard to listen to. Okay, it's hard to follow the princess's accent. Frankenstein, pretty amazing in this, and the storyline that follows Frankenstein is hilarious and sad at the same time, but it's hard to feel bad because the writing is so comedic attached to that character. So, season 1 of Creature Commandos, a popcorn and 3 from me for what it is.
Wow.
Okay? Josh.
What?
You're up.
Hey, don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Is that a classic? No, it's. Can we
I
get
don't think so, but maybe
Okay.
you.
Well, it's what is it, late '80s? But this is a story about goofing around. Oh, the babysitter died, and then the movie just shifts midway through to career woman boss bitch, which it was kind of a smooth transition, sort of. But like the premise was started off crazy, then it just became that where I got a job now at the big building, but it's like very progressive, and it aged not. I don't know if it aged well, but like there was the main character Applegate has very healthy habits, and it's like good advice for every little girl and boy to watch. Like, just get your stuff together and let's go. Like pick it up, not bootstraps, but like, hey, we got some stuff to do. Let's do it. And I don't know, entertaining. Nice to see old early '80s fashion and all that jazz, and the mall and blah blah blah. Popcorn and one. Good.
When the mall still existed.
Yeah.
Right. The final thing I watched this week, I watched American Primeval. I was really looking forward to this series. It's a Western epic on Netflix, 6 episodes. It was okay. It was kind of a letdown. I think my expectations were too high. And I have a gripe. Can we have a female Western character that makes all the right decisions and does all the right things? And we don't just use her as a plot device to move forward with her making all the wrong decisions, leading to some pretty vicious, hard to watch stuff in this show.
They're so helpless.
It was bad, and it was formulaic, and I didn't like that aspect of it. Scenery, beautiful. Whoever did the scene, the scouting, the scene scouting, right? Yeah, set scouting.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Great job. Beautiful. Wherever they shot this is absolutely lovely. It is a story that really villainizes the Mormons, just like Hell on Wheels. It attacks the Mormons hardcore, man. So if you're Mormon, this is probably not the show for you. I probably would not watch this one. They go at Brigham Young. They go at the Mormons. They are accused of quite a bit of things, to include hidden genocide. They're accused of rebellion, basically the first ones to try to start a civil war within America. There's a lot. And then there's some, projecting where they play a little bit of victim while they're murdering a bunch of people. And this is the way it's written. This is just the way the show is written. I'm just describing the show to you. So please don't get in my mentions. I'm simply describing you how they wrote this show. All right. It also follows mainly a young lady and her son trying to make it to where the father lives. The father is estranged, and they hadn't seen him in years and years, and they're trying to get back to him. And we come to find out that they're not just trying to get to him, they're trying to escape something that's happened in their past. And it goes from there. The Native American scenes are very good. The Native Americans were probably the best written, best shot, to include the war scenes in the whole movie. Outside of that, again, it was kind of a letdown, unfortunately. Outside of the scenery, outside of that, I think it's kind of be rough. It's going to be a lot of stuff you've seen before. I think they could have done this on A&E, to be honest. It did not have to be a Netflix spectacular. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a popcorn and 1. I think they swung and they made contact, but at the end of the day, it was a foul ball.
Foul ball.
All right, Jordan.
Yeah. I watched The Dig on Netflix, starring Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe Fiennes.
And Carrie...
Every single time.
I don't care. It's Ralph Fiennes, okay? And Carrie Mulligan Okay, this is based on a true story. The history nerd in me had to I've been drawn to this for a long time. It's been out. It's a Netflix original, been out for a long time. Finally got to it. World War II looming, and an archaeologist in England is privately commissioned to dig up these large mounds that are on this woman's property. She bought the property, has a feeling that there's something spectacular underneath them, and she is right. Okay, it ends up being this artifact that changes how they thought history went. So yeah,
That's cool.
It's not an exciting movie. It's not a barn burner at all. It's just like a historical period piece. The British Museum wasn't interested in what she was trying to sell them at all. And then they find something, and of course they take it over, as the British Museum does. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. British Museum. Honestly, I'm sorry. I've done a whole college report on him. You suck. Okay. Some controversy.
They know.
They do.
I'll tell you, they know.
Okay. Yeah. Some controversy. There's some controversy in the making of this movie over the portrayal of a very famous female archaeologist. They play her character as sort of this like, just in like a love triangle, and like that's the dynamic of her whole character. She's kind of bumbling when in reality she was a very competent archaeologist. So there's that. This was a popcorn in one movie. It's fine. Nothing too exciting. It's just like, could have been it just plays kind of like a documentary.
Hey, Fry's dead. We're doing it. We're doing live.
And then there were two.
So we got something else. One last thing, right?
Yeah. We double teamed Kunk on Life. Okay. Philomena Kunk is back. The English mockumentary
host? Series, yeah.
Series host, yes. She's so charming. Okay. She's just she's a treasure. She's a jewel.
Treasure.
Yeah. She touches on art, animals, religion, technology, death, and more, and more, and more, and more. She touches on life, right? That is a lot. Yeah. That encapsulates a lot. And she skims through it. Okay. Watching her mess with smart people that take themselves really serious. I love it. It's so funny. It's obviously you have to imagine that these people were let in on the joke, because these people take themselves really seriously, and I just don't think that they would have sat there through this stuff without being let in on like, look, we're screwing with you, all right?
Well, they talked about it, and it's something like, hey, this is what's going to happen, but we don't exactly know what we're going to say to you, and we just like you to play it serious as you can. Yeah. So they're halfway in on it.
Yeah.
When they have to be, I don't know.
But there's my two favorite scenes for this whole thing is she's looking at art, which is, unless you're an art person, is objectively just dumb. like a fine art person.
That's great. I love that.
Art. I mean, look. Art has a very, very important cultural value and all of that stuff. I respect art is, artists and all that. Cool. But just like the industry of fine art is dumb. Is ridiculous.
I totally understand what you're saying. And then there's also that small aspect of like, I'm also a beatboxer. Nobody watches beatboxing videos besides beatboxers.
But she's looking at a Bruegel painting.
Okay.
And she just goes, "What the F is this?" to the lady who's taking it very serious. I
love that. Yeah.
It's just, that made
it's one of my favorite scenes or episodes.
Yeah, it made me crack up. And then towards the end, this guy is giving this really long, thoughtful answer about the meaning of life, and her response is, "Why do our poos taper at the end?" And that absolutely...
She's like, "Oh, we can get a butt expert in, but you're here, so what do you think? Take a crack at it."
That absolutely killed me. Yeah.
I like it when she said, Nietzsche can fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Her responses are just so witty and good. This is just a palate cleanser. It's something to put on and, fold laundry and just just lose yourself in what menial, crappy, everyday task you're doing. It'll take you out of that and power you through. Popcorn in one. on this.
I go popcorn in 1 as well. It's just a good classic series that's seemingly timeless. Standard, dry, English humor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have much more to add. I think she's just wonderful, and I love her character that she pulls off. And yeah, keep it up. Popcorn in 2.
Yeah.
Popcorn in 1.
Yeah.
Popcorn in 2.
More.
Popcorn in 1. Popcorn in 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. But then we also have to talk about what's happening next week. And a butter on top. What's that going to be?
The butter on top is Wolfman. Okay.
Wolfman.
They are
Wolfman.
still pushing this MonsterVerse thing that I don't think anybody has bought into.
The Mummy MonsterVerse?
Yeah, it's part of that.
Whoa.
The Mummy and the Invisible Man.
I didn't know those were connected. Okay. I knew they were going to do it, but I thought they canceled it after Tom Cruise ruined the whole thing.
Yeah. They're still trying, I guess.
Well, okay. Well, I'll watch it. Well, I like werewolves a lot. They're cool. When they're cool. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're not cool.
This is not.
Or sometimes
cool.
the transformations are like, ugh.
There is a lot of online buzz, and it's not positive about this movie.
It's
about
not
the
good,
appearance. The trailer looks awful. The appearance of the werewolf man has been revealed, and it's neither not enough werewolf or too much werewolf. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, it's easy to mess it up, but so many people have done it right. Anyway, then we have our drunk classic I'm picking today. I had one locked in, but I think you forced my hand. If you haven't seen this, I'd be really surprised. The Usual Suspects?
I have not seen this.
Oh, buddy, talk about a heist movie, but maybe not a heist. There's heists. There's heist adjacent things. It's a really cool movie. Check it out. That's all. I'll see you guys at the movies.